Hello everyone, let's welcome to the series of Core Java interview questions. And today we will discuss what do you mean by OP in Java. If suppose you want to learn the concept of Java programming, then this OP plays very important role before learning the concept of Java. Because there are various terms that are used in object-oriented programming, the same concepts that we are using in Java. So it is a main core part of Java that we are using in object-oriented programming because everywhere we are using the concept of objects. Whenever we are using the concept of classes, we have to create objects, and based on the objects, we can call the members which are declared inside our classes. So in that OP, the question can be asked during the interview like, what do you mean by classes? What do you mean by objects? What do you mean by OP? Which programming approach will be used in object-oriented programming? As well as what are the different concepts that we are using OP in Java like inheritance, encapsulations, polymorphism, abstraction. What are the different pillars of OP in Java? As well as why OOP will be important in Java programming. So these are the different concepts that are asked during the interview. So in this video, we will see what is object-oriented programming in Java and why it is used and what are the different pillars of OOP in Java. In next videos, we will see all this concept in detailed manner. So see, what do you mean by object-oriented programming in Java? So object-oriented programming. The concepts define that it is a programming language, it is a programming paradigm which is based on the concept of objects. So everywhere we are using the concept of object by calling your classes, by calling your class members. So here, suppose consider that we have taken the class like car. So car is our class, and in that car we have declared our variables as well as our functions. So in C programming, we are using that concept variables and functions. But whenever we are going with that concept of object-oriented programming, we are using the concept of these fields, attributes or methods and their behavior. So first of all, we will see what is this fields. Fields called as attributes, and it is also called as a variable. Suppose you are declaring class as a car. So car is having some different features. So we can declare it as a attribute, or we can say it as variables. So our variables and functions which we are declaring inside the class, and it is called as fields and methods. So variable can be string, brand, color, speed, name of the vehicle, name of the car. So that can be declared as a attribute. And whenever we are going with the concept of methods, it can be discussed as a behavior of that particular class. So this can be start car, stop car, and accelerate. So these are the functions which we are declaring inside our class methods. So class consists of different objects, and with the help of objects, we are accessing the members of that particular car. That is our class car. So in that example, we have taken car as a class, and we have the methods like start, stop, and accelerate. So using that methods, we are accessing the variables, that is fields, from that class. So by using object-oriented concepts, object-oriented programming concepts, the Java can be the programming language which uses the concept of OOP. So object is nothing but runtime entity which is used for calling the members of class like fields or methods. So what are the different pillars of OOP in Java? The first of all, encapsulation, the second one is inheritance, third one is polymorphism, and fourth one is abstraction. So these are the different concepts or different pillars which can be used in our OP using Java. So encapsulation is nothing but we are wrapping our data, we are wrapping our code together into a single unit, that is called as a encapsulation, without restricting the direct access to some of the object's components. Means you can see this example here. We have declared this class student, and in that student class we have taken this member, that is our variable. So what are the members of that class? Our variables and our functions, which can be considered as a members of that class. So variable can be considered as a fields or attribute, or functions can be considered as a methods in our program. So in that class student, we have the fields like string name, integer age, void set name, this is our function name, string get name, this is our function name. So which can be considered as a field and which can be considered as a function name? So these two can be considered as fields, and this two, that is set name and get name, this can be considered as a method. So these fields and method, we are wrapping up, we are combining it as a one kind of class. So fields and methods which can be wrapped together as a one class, as a one single entity or unit, that is called as encapsulation. So whenever we are using the concept of this encapsulation, we can combine these fields and methods together. We are using into one particular entity as a class student. So there is no restriction for directly accessing to the data. So whenever we have to access this data from this class student, first of all, we need to create an object of this student class, and with the help of only student class object, we can access the members of this class like fields and methods. Now you can consider the next concept, that is encapsulation, after that inheritance. So in case of inheritance, it allows a new class to acquire the properties of and behaviors of existing class. Suppose we have the class parent, that is called as animal, and we have our child class, that is called as dog. So parents are having some properties. That property will be provided to the child class. So child class inherit the properties from parent class, that is called as a inheritance. So a new class will inherit the properties from old class, that is called as concept of inheritance. Now the next concept is polymorphism. So in that polymorphism, there are many forms. So it can be considered as we are allowing the objects to be treated as instances of their parent class. So we are taking this same method which will behave differently for different object. Means, so the concept of polymorphism says that we are having many forms for different object. So here we can consider, in case of inheritance example, we have the animal class, and this animal class will be inherited in our dog class. So dog is a child class and animal is a parent class. So here if you can consider, in that animal class, there are many different forms of animals, and that can be treated as a one single entity and which can be inherited in multiple different classes. So here the example is dog is a child class, which will inherit the properties of animal class. Cat is a child class which will inherit the properties of animal class. So animal class can give the entities to dog as well as child class. So many form means there is a one class which acquire the properties and they are giving their own properties to different objects by using the same method. That is called as a polymorphism. So one form is having the different functionalities are called as polymorphism. So you can check here in this example, we have taken the class animal. So this animal class is having the method sound. Then this dog class is our child class. Animal is our parent class. So child will inherit the properties from parent class animal. Same method that will be used over here, sound method. Then in that class cat, this is also our child class. So which will inherit the properties from our parent class. So there is one parent class and we have the two child class. That is dog and cat. And this is our parent, that is our animal. So animal will provide the properties from sound class, sound function to our dog class as well as our cat class. So there is one form. One form means there is one method. So what is that method? Sound method, and which are having different functionalities. So what are the different functionalities? Means dog is having another sound, cat is having another sound. But sound is the concept that is same. That's why it is called as one single concept that will be acquired in different classes differently for different objects. Okay. So there are many forms will be formed over here based on the single parent class. That is called as a same method that can be behave differently for different object. Means we have only one same method that is sound and which can be behave differently for our dog and differently for our cat in that class. That is the concept of polymorphism. Now you can check this next topic, that is abstraction. This is the other pillar of our OOP in Java. So abstraction means we are showing only the essential features by hiding the implementation details. So it can be achieved using the abstract classes as well as interfaces. So we have taken this abstract class over here, that is shape, and we have taken this method like area. So whenever we are using the concept of this method of that area, which will calculate the area of that particular shape. So we have taken the shape over here, class circle, which will explain the properties of area, and whatever the concept of shape class will be using the functions as well as variable that can be taken over into your circle class by using the concept of this inheritance over here. So in circle class, we are using double radius as a variable. Circle double r is a constructor, which we have taken it as radius is equal to r. These values will be assigned to them. And here we are using the method that is double area, which we have already declared inside our class abstract. So in that abstract class, we have declared our method, but this method is defined in our child class, that is our class circle. So in that circle class, we have returning this area of our circle by using this formula. So in case of abstraction, what we are doing? We are taking the essential features but hiding the implementation details. So here in that shape class, we have taken this method of abstraction. We have declared this method area, but we have not defined what is the property, what are the different functionalities, what we are doing into this concept of area that we have declared inside our class, child class, that is circle class. So these are the four different concepts that are used in object-oriented programming. That is encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism, and abstraction. So why OOP will be more important in Java? Because they are using the code that are already used in the existing classes, that is called as a code reusability. Then we can modify, we can manage our large program with the help of concept of maintainability. Then we can divide our main program into different chunks, different small parts, that is called as a manageable code. With the help of different objects, we can call a different part whatever we have taken. That is called as a modularity. So in case of modularity, we are dividing our main program into different chunks, different parts, that is called as modular approach. Then the next concept is scalability, and the last concept is real world modeling. So for this five purpose, that is code reusability, maintainability, modularity, scalability, and the real world modeling concept, we are using the concept of OOP in our Java. So in the next video, we will learn all these different concepts that we have taken in our object-oriented programming in detailed manner. Like what do you mean by constructor, how to declare the constructor, what are the different types which we can use in the constructor, what is the concept of inheritance, what are the different types of inheritance, then what do you mean by polymorphism, what are the different types of polymorphism, what do you mean by abstraction, what is encapsulation, then concept of package in detailed manner.